Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I feel a little crazy today, so bear with me. My hair is going wild. I'm like kind of on a little bit of a break from work right now because I just like needed to clear my brain. So I figured I would film a quick project pan update. I am pretty thrilled with where I'm at. I mean, we're going into June and I have a spreadsheet and I track everything and I'm like, wow, I've really been able to either hit pan, hit use goals, finish different products this year. So I'm just like really happy that I'm still doing a project pan. I know a lot of people do like multiple project pans, and to me I used to, but then I just got so overwhelmed that I just do one project pan now, and then I do a non-makeup project pan. I call it Project Use It Up. So that's kind of my threshold. But let's go ahead and start with the product updates. If you are new here, hey, hello, my name is Maggie. I will leave my playlist for this year's project pan link down below if you want to see how I've done this whole time. So I like to go through my products from the ones that have been in the longest to the ones that I just put in last month, and then we'll go through the new items as well. So the one that's been in here the longest is an eyeshadow from my Anastasia Sultry palette, and this is one that I think is probably going to be in for some time yet. So I'm trying to finish up one of these eyeshadows. I already had pan on it, and my palette's a little dirty, sorry about that. The shade that I'm working on is Pearl, which is right here, and it's this like champagne shimmery shade. And what I've actually been able to do is clear out the side pan over here, so I'm able to like fully see the pan. And so I think what I'm going to do next is start to work down here, and then kind of maybe come across, but I'd like to start focusing my brush down on this side just because I have cleared out the one side there. So I'm super excited about that. Again, this one's going to be in for a while. I typically use this in my inner corner every day, but on today I used another shade in here, which we'll talk about in a second. I layered it on top of a brown, so I like it that way too. It is a little bit more of like a chunky shimmery champagne shade, but I still really like it, and I'm just happy to be working on it. So that one, it has been in since January, and it's going to be in for a few more months at least, but that's okay. I'm happy with the progress that I'm moving. Okay, so then the next one, we're looking at the products from April, because everything from February and March I actually ended up using. So in April, I put in the second shade that I'm working on in this palette, and my goal was to hit pan on it. And I did not accomplish that goal until actually today, so it worked out really well. And the shade is Teak, which is this kind of shimmery brown down here, and hopefully you can see the pan catching the light. So what I've been doing with this is I like it on the outer third of my eye, to kind of help like transition maybe a gold or like another shimmery shade just to add some depth. But I've also really liked it just all over the lid. I kind of pack it down and then I blend it through my crease. And then I've been putting Pearl on top of it just to kind of help add some dimension, lighten it up so my eyes don't look so heavy and dark. And I've really been liking that combination because it's so quick and easy and fast for me. So that is the look that I have on today. And yeah, I did hit pan on Teak today, so that's like perfect timing, right? So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I have another pan in this palette, so now I have one shade finished up and 5 additional shades in here with pan, which I am so happy with. This is my oldest palette, so I'm just trying to kind of focus some attention in here and make sure that I'm using it, and enjoying it while I still have it and while it's still good. The other product I had going from April is a bronzer. So I have this Physicians Formula Glow Face Palette that has the butter bronzer in it, and my goal is to hit pan on the bronzer, and I'm happy to say I did achieve it. It's just a little pan. I kind of was like, should I keep going? Should I just call it a day? I kind of went back and forth on it and decided I'm going to pause right here. I do have pan on it, which is exciting. And this is the type of pan that like, it definitely dipped there, but I'm wearing the pan down pretty evenly. So whenever I do decide to pick this back up to finish it off, I feel like it's gonna go really fast. So I'm kind of okay pausing here so that it's a quick win type product for me to pan in the future. So I am going to be rolling this out. I'm not going to keep using it, but I'm super happy to have another pan in my bronzer. And then I was able to move on to a different bronzer in my collection, which we'll talk about here in a minute. Okay, also in April, I put in a blush. So this is the ColourPop Fresh and Peachy blush. It's just a matte peach blush, and I have a use goal of using this 30 times. So I have, let's see here, at my last update, I had used it 9 times, and now I've used it 22 times. So I feel like I'm making pretty steady progress, and I should reach that 30 mark goal my next month. But I really, really love this blush. It's just a perfect peach shade. Like, it's not over the top, pulling in any direction, and I just feel like, I don't know, it's just like that really great juicy peach cheek look that I love for the spring and summertime. So I've really been enjoying this. It is nice with the summertime. I usually like more shimmery bronzer and highlight. It's nice to have a matte blush so that your cheek isn't like so crazy shimmery. So I've been enjoying kind of the finish of it as well. So this is going to be staying in, and I'm still going to be working on it. And then the last one I had still going from April is a lip product. So this is the Ulta Beauty Velvet Matte Lip Crayon in the shade Terrestrial, and this is really nice. I really like this lip crayon. I definitely will finish this up in the future, but my goal was to use it 25 times, and I did reach that goal. So I can give a little swatch of it here. It's just a really pretty kind of like medium peachy nude shade. So yeah, I did reach my goal to use this 25 times, and I do have it on my sheet of paper here because I just want to see what does 25 uses look like for this product. Being that it's a crayon and not like a full bullet lipstick, I figured I'd see more progress just because the surface area, you know, that you're applying is so much smaller that I figured it probably would wear down. And this is a pretty soft formula. So I do have it marked here. We can see, hopefully let this thing focus for a moment, where I started, my first update, and then where I was. So I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of how many uses is 25. So I feel like it'd be like another, I don't know, 50 to 60 uses before I'd actually finish it up, which is just helpful for me to know. Like I said, I probably will finish this up, but again, I'm going to roll it out for now and bring it back into a project pan, I'm sure sometime in the future, but today is not that day. So this one is rolling out, and I'm able to, you know, reach for other lip products now, but I did really like that one, and it's super comfortable on the lips. They still sell that formula, and I really hadn't heard anybody talk about it before, but I'm definitely interested in buying more shades because it's really comfortable on the lips. It doesn't feel like overly matte. Like the velvet matte description is pretty dead on because it still feels soft between your lips, but it doesn't give like a shine at all. So love that. Okay, so let's get into the products that I rolled in last month, which was my May update, and then we're going to be talking about what I'm going to bring in for June. So in May, I did bring in an eyeshadow that I have been using pretty much every day. So I'm working on hitting pan on all of the different like matte, cream, bone type eyeshadows in my collection because I use them to set my eyeshadow primer, and I also use them as a brow bone highlight. I prefer a matte brow bone highlight. So the shade that I've been working on is from my ColourPop Bare Necessities palette. I just popped it out into this little Z palette to make it a little bit easier. And this is the shade Full Expose, and this is where I'm at. So I have a really good dip forming. I'm gonna kind of like wiggle this around so hopefully you can see. Super good dip. Like I think I'm probably a week away from hitting pan on this. Let's see what I have in my notes here. So when I rolled this in, I had used it 7 times. I'm currently at 26 uses. So I don't know. I feel like I still have a good week left in it. ColourPop mattes, you know, are pretty densely packed, so I'm not surprised that it's going to be a little bit longer, but I do have this still in my project. I have not reached my goal yet, but once I hit pan, I'm going to move into another shade, which I'm going to show you at the end here. But this one is still in and going strong. Okay, since I have my little quad open here, I have another eyeshadow that I rolled in last month, and this is an Anastasia single. This is the Pink Champagne, which is like a famous Anastasia single. If you guys remember when they all came out with their singles, this was a popular one. So this is where it's at. My goal is to hit pan on it, and I've used it 10 times since my last update. I had used this before that. I didn't keep track though, so I don't know how many total uses it'll be, but I've used it 10 times since I let you know I was putting it into this project. I really like this all over the lid. I think it goes well with, it can pull rosy, but it can also go more with like browns and neutrals, which is really convenient to be able to have this all over the lid, and it doesn't really matter what kind of crease work I want to do. So this works out pretty nicely. I do think that this is going to be one I'm going to set a goal for next month because I don't think I'm going to hit pan. Maybe if I can use it another 10 times and maybe just try to use it 10 times a month, that would be like an okay amount so that I know that, you know, it's only a few months away probably, but I don't think it's gonna be next time that I have pan in it. So this is going to be staying in, but that way I can put my little quad away here. I really have been loving popping out the shades that are in either my eyeshadow roulette or in my project pan, or just other shades that I want to use in here, because it makes it so much easier in the morning to just grab this and not like 10 different palettes, you know? Sometimes I like that, but sometimes I don't. All right, also in May, I added in my setting spray, and this is the only setting spray I have. It's the NYX Bear With Me, but I do have a little bit of the Milani setting spray in here because I just had a little bit left in my bottle, so I just, you know, tossed it in here. So when we put it in last time, I was right here at the top of the barcode, and now I'm here. So I use this to set my face, but I also use one spray of this on the back of my hand each morning to wet my eyeshadow brush to do a liner. I don't actually use like liquid liner or pencil liner anymore. I much prefer using a flat angled brush with setting spray, just because I'm lazy and don't want to go like actually get the brush wet, and an eyeshadow, usually like a brown or a black. So that is the other way I use this, or just to like foil an eyeshadow. This is kind of the go-to product. So I feel like that's pretty steady progress here. I'm hoping that this stays consistent. I would be kind of surprised, I guess, unless if I like stopped wearing so much makeup just because it's summer, maybe I, you know, eventually will feel like I want a break, but I think this should be pretty steady. And going at the rate it is now, should be probably like 2 more updates, I'm thinking, and this should be done. So I'm excited about that, but this is an easy one for me to use because it's just part of my everyday routine, and I don't have another spray, so it's not like I'm, you know, picking it over something else. All right, I've got 2 more products from May, and then we'll talk about the new items I'm rolling in. I am working on a highlighter. This is new to me, but this is the ColourPop Super Shock highlighter in the shade Lunch Money, which I feel like is a cult classic. It's just this really pretty, like, champagne gold. I do have it on today. I just love how it looks. I love how it applies. I am, like, new to the game of Super Shock. I've known about them, but I've never tried them, and I love them. So my goal is to use it 30 times, not necessarily hit pan, but I have used this 15 times since I put it in last month. So I don't know if I'll use it another full 15 this month or not. It'd be great if I did, but I think I'm going to try to use it at least 10 times. And then if I want to use it more, I can, or, you know, I can just take it from there. But I have used 15, so I'm halfway to my 30 use goal. And the last item I had in May was a lip liner. So this is the NYX lip pencil in the shade Natural. I'm using this to line and fill my lips every morning. So I use it just the one time. I'm not like really reapplying it. And this is how I'm doing. So, you know, it's been sharpened a couple of times. I sharpen about once a week, but I do have it marked here on my paper so you can see where I started and where I'm at. So, you know, a little bit of progress there. This is kind of like the setting spray. It's just part of my routine. I do have one other lip liner, but it's far darker, so I wouldn't be using that on a daily basis. But I do like using a lip liner to fill in my lip. I do have like missing pigmentation, especially on my top lips where like it just doesn't have color there. So this is helpful just to like actually redefine my lip line. So I don't like, you know, look like I have as thin of lips. I mean, I still have thin lips, but this helps them just look a little bit more present. And I don't like crazy overline or anything like that, but that's how I use this. Is I just line it and then fill in and then go on with my gloss or lipstick or whatever I'm gonna use. So this is probably going to be in for quite a while. I think it's going to be just steady progress the whole way through, but I would like to finish this one up. I've had it for quite a while, but it does help that it's sharpenable, so I still feel like it's pretty fresh, you know? Okay, that concludes all of the product updates. So I have 4 products I'm going to be rolling in today, which I'm so excited about. So let's go ahead and jump right to them. The first one is I have a different bronzer. So as soon as I hit pan on the Physicians Formula bronzer, I pulled out, well, this is actually always in my makeup basket, but I started using the bronzer in my Hourglass Quad. And this is the Golden Bronze Light. And it is obviously right here. It's been the bronzer I've been using. It's beautiful. I really, really like it. So my goal is going to be to hit pan on it. And I do think eventually I'm going to have to switch the brush that I'm using just because it's in this quad and not in its kind of like dedicated pan, that I might need to use a smaller brush eventually. But right now the brush I'm using is working. So I have started tracking numbers on this already. So I think, let me check here. I've used this 6 times, so not like a ton, but I am going to be tracking how many uses until I hit pan on it. And I do know that the Hourglass products are the baked, so it's going to be more of like a tile instead of a metal pan at the bottom. But I would like to hit pan on this. It's very bright and glowy, but like it's not too dark for me. What I mean by bright is just like shimmery. So I really like that. And I don't know, I'm just more drawn to shimmery bronzers in the spring and summer. I think it helps kind of the natural glow of your skin, whereas in the winter I much prefer the matte bronzer. So this works out just fine for the season of the year, and yeah, happy to work on this one. Okay, I have kind of like a gimme product here. This is a lip gloss from I Heart Revolution. This is from their Aristocats like collaboration or line or whatever, and this is Berlioz, which obviously I have used a ton of. So this is kind of new to me, but I just love it. It looks pink in the packaging, but it comes off more of like just a clear gloss. So it's super easy for me to use. I don't have to think about it. So this has been what's living in my purse and just kind of what I've been reapplying. The tube is also pretty small. It only has 0.11 fluid ounces or 3.5 mil, so it's much smaller than like my NYX Butter Gloss, than my Fenty Gloss Bomb. But because I've already used this much up, I feel like I just need to finish it off. So this is going to be in and hopefully out next time. I'm hoping that that is just going to be an easy transition kind of gimme product, but I really like it. You know, it's just a very smooth gloss. It's not sticky. Kind of has just like a sweet vanilla scent. So yeah, this is supposed to be an easy one, you know, to kind of help boost my numbers and make sure that I'm still motivated to actually finish things. So wish me luck. I'm sure this can be done though. I'm pretty confident. And I have another lip product that I'm going to add, which is a little bit of a stretch product. This is from ColourPop. It's a lippy stick, and it's in the shade Trust Me, and it's in the matte formula, which is a red lipstick. It's the only red, like true red lipstick I own, and it's beautiful. It really is. Whenever I've worn it in videos, I've gotten such great compliments and feedback. So my goal is going to be to use it 15 times. I love a red lip in the summer, especially around 4th of July, and in the winter around like Christmas. So I don't know if I'm going to use it like 15 times, like really quick. It might be like 2-3 times a month type thing, but I would really like to kind of push myself to use it, especially working from home. Like, it's easy for me to overlook my lip products because, you know, chapsticks is just right there, but I really do want to get use out of my lip products. So I hope to use it like filming, going out to eat at restaurant, you know, just kind of like an occasion, I suppose, but also just get more comfortable in the reds because I haven't worn a red in quite some time. So I'm going to be rolling it in, but how gorgeous of a shade is that? I mean, I really should be getting more use out of this. So I'm gonna roll that in. And the last one I'm kind of just putting out there. This is going to be the replacement eyeshadow for Full Exposé, which is in here. So once I hit pan, I'm gonna grab another shade from my ColourPop Bare Necessities palette, which this is my all-time favorite eyeshadow palette. It has 30 pans in here, some of which I've pulled out and are in here, but I love this. So when I hit pan on this one, I'm going to move into Tease Me, which is a little bit darker of a shade, but it will work out because I'm starting to get more color on my skin just from being outside and in the sun and all that. So this white is starting to look pretty stark. So I'm ready for something a little bit deeper. So Tease Me, I think I've used it a couple of times, but nothing crazy. It's a little bit more peachy. It does have some of those like sparkles in it, like people call it a sequin eyeshadow. But to me, it performs the same way as a matte. Like it really doesn't. You know, usually when I like tap my brush, all of the glitter falls off. It doesn't really translate onto my lids. So that is going to be, I can't even barely see it, the shade that I'm going to use to set my primer and be my brow highlight going forward after I hit pan on this one. So that should work out. I did purposely save this one for the summertime. And I think that's probably the last one to hit pan on before I circle back around to actually finishing and starting to, you know, get rid of these shades. So that is going to be the plan. And again, I'm just letting you know this is the next one coming in, but I'm gonna hit pan on this one first and then I'll go into this one. But that's gonna be it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know how your project pans are going. I am super excited to see everyone's updates. I know a lot of people are doing different kind of types of project pans and I just love them all, but like I said, I totally back in my day when I had a huge makeup collection went hard with the panning, and I burned myself out. Now I have a smaller collection, so it just makes sense for me to only do like one rolling style project pan instead of like 4 different project pans at a time. It just, that's what fits me better. But I do love watching it. So if you have like an Instagram for panning, or if you do videos, let me know so I can check them out and, you know, watch all of your progress and cheer you on. So that's it for me. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you enjoy project pan type content, and I'll see you in my next one.